Selma. So Selma is the story of the 1965 Selma to Montgomery marches during the Civil Rights Movement. It's basically a Dr. Martin Luther King biopic. Only it's not a complete biopic. It only just shows that portion of his life during the entire Selma situation. That's kind of different to me because every biopic I've seen of Martin Luther King usually goes from birth to his death. It's nice to actually get a break from that and get only one particular moment in focus. Dr. King is played by David Oyelowo. You may have seen him in Red Tails and Planet of the Apes and several other features, and I didn't really know he was British until I saw him in an interview, but he hides his accent very well in this movie. He definitely sounds like Dr. King as he did in real life. And that's another thing I liked about the movie. The movie really humanizes Dr. King in a way that most stories have never seen before. You see him with his doubts, his struggles, him talking to people, his fighting, his bitter arguments and stuff like that. There's even one point in the middle of the movie where he's just sitting down in the middle of a room, and the audience can just sit there like, yeah, yep, that's pretty bad, bro. No, seriously, it completely humanizes the character. Rounding out the cast is also Carmen Ejogo, who plays Coretta Scott King, also another person who's British but hides that accent well. Also in the movie is Oprah. She plays Annie Lee Cooper, from what I remember. Funny thing about that is, for as much billing as she got, she didn't really have that much dialogue. I think she had like 3 lines at the beginning of the movie, and doesn't really speak much since then. Of course, this is it being part of the Civil Rights Movement. There's some brutality in this movie, and I have to admit, it can be a bit hard to watch. Speaking of history, you also have Lyndon Baines Johnson here. He's played by Carmine Falcone from Batman Begins, or rather Tom Wilkinson, another person with an accent who's hiding it very well. And that's another thing about this movie. That's another historical aspect of the movie that I actually like to see. Dr. King arguing with President Johnson in several scenes. Now, not to spoil it, well, there's no spoilers here. Let me just get that out the way. If you know your history, if you've actually read a history book, you pretty much know how this story is going to end, for the most part. In the end, Selma was a great film, a really human film as far as Dr. Martin Luther King went, and a good start to January 2015 movies. I felt it showed the character for all his worth. I felt it showed both sides. I felt it had heart. I felt it showed everything and didn't pull any punches. And for that reason, this movie gets the first ever Diamond Ribbon rating. Diamond Ribbon is essentially the highest rated movie I could give. So Selma, have you seen it? What did you all think? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Whatever you think, leave a comment below and tell me how you feel. Also, don't forget to check out my blog. Don't forget to check out my Twitter at AsteroidMike. And as always, I will see you in the next video.